the second race in this division with F1 champ. A little bit late because we had some problems, but we are now on and we've got flip-flop fish 131.5 and so we've got 2 minutes to go in this session and drivers are coming out on their last hot laps soon.
I think we've got Lopez starting his lap now.
Yes, he is on the starting straight. He's going around the first corner. Now down into the second corner on this track. Of course, this track it's very easy to invalidate the lap time, and Lopez does this thing. So unfortunately, and I don't think that he has got time to make another lap. And so we will switch to Rafa. Who is currently in last position, but he's improving by half a second after 2 corners. So if he won't do any mistakes here in the third sector, he should jump a few positions up. Oh, and he does a mistake, so
he should still improve because his original time was set on the hards though, so maybe he'll still go up a little bit.
We will see.
Or not. I've seen validated it. As if everyone's retiring.
Yeah. I don't know if he made a mistake. Probably yes.
Yeah. No one really looks like they're in this point.
Right, so that's the end of quali, and so we are waiting still for the drivers to finish their lap times. We've got one of the Ferraris, it's Christian, but he isn't improving. And so...
doesn't improve. Renault next across the line is Paolo.
And he also doesn't improve. So next will be Rafa. Yes. And he's improving by 1/10 after 2 sectors. He's very low on ERS. But now he's got 2 more corners to go. And now he goes into P16. So just ahead. Yes, just ahead of his teammate.
The Haas of is next. And he invalidates his left house corner.
Yeah, so let's look at Jordi, and Jordi jumps into P9. So P9 for... Yes, and Sefe into 4th. And we are still waiting for his teammate, Mati. And Mati goes into P9. Yes, it's P9 for Red Bull. So yeah, that's the end of quali, and now we are waiting for the race. So here are the results of this qualifying session. Yeah, he's 3 tenths up on Grunty Boy.
And a big gap covering the top 5. P6 is second down on our leader, so maybe not as close a race as last time.
We will see. Maybe some corners in turn 1 or 2.
Probably. It is Russia.
It's Russia. It's Russia, yeah.
Just waiting for everyone to load.
Yeah, and it's quite cloudy on track, so we may see, maybe we will see some rain during the race.
Maybe. We did last week, so you never know. However, rain will probably benefit the players on the pad a lot more than the wheel racers.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be begging for the rain not to come. And the formation lap should start around about now.
Yes, we are still waiting for one more player, and oh yes,
There we go.
there we go.
Yeah.
And the formation lap is on.
See if anyone's going to try and win the formation lap from.
Let's see the tires. The top 10 is of course on softs, and then outside the top 10 we've got Fallen, Darky, V8, Paulo and Lopez on softs. Then we've got both Ferraris on mediums, and the last two players, Coco and Lexa, on softs as well.
I have a feeling the Ferraris might have got the right strategy there, starting that far back.
Oh, and
Ooh.
fifth of spins in.
The leader spins.
And he hits the wall.
He's trying his best on Grosjean. Is he just going to stay on his lot, or is he going to try and overtake him again?
Oh, and we've got another spin. It's one of the Red Bulls. It's Cefe.
Oh no. So, they can't even keep it on the track formation lap.
That's Russia, that's Russia. The drivers are spinning even on the formation lap.
Someone cuts the corner there. I think it's a Smoking Bandit.
Yeah.
Very interesting formation lap, hopefully. The rest could be a bit calmer.
We will see. So now drivers are coming onto their start spots, and we should see the red lights soon. So do you want to commentate the start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so go on.
Last drive just into the grid. We'll stop in a minute and we should see the lights come on. Waiting now. And we have fights, and someone's jumped the start already. It's Ahmed.
Ahmed, yes.
Away from the start of the race. We have a good start for our leader here, Flop, but he's probably going to lose out because of the slipstream down the straight. Ranty Boy has looked like he's going to move into the
We've got
outside.
the Renault losing the front wing at the back.
Renault dropping to Paolo maybe.
Oh, and we've got the Haas spinning. It's V8.
Has spun.
And three drivers, three more spun. So it's also Paulo and Lexa who got involved.
Has 5 seconds.
And we've got a safety car. Okay.
Safety car already. Who could have predicted that one?
We've done 2 corners, to be honest.
That
So
should
yeah.
hopefully mean that the guys at the back.
And there's another spin for.
damage.
It's Renault. It's Paulo.
V8 Junior. V8 Junior and Paolo have made contact on the safety car. Inward. And Lex too made a mistake. Or maybe just back through, then maybe an illegal overtake. So, even under the safety car, it's a very lively race. Russia was the best race for Ero last year, if I remember.
Yeah, last year it was a real banger
might
in
be
F1. So
Looks like it could be the same again this year, this season.
we will see.
And we have someone overtaken under the safety car.
Yeah.
Akin lost out to Dark. You see if... Oh, and we have flip-flop in the pits. Is he
Already.
fixing damage, or is he...
So, we will see.
He might be fixing damage, but he's trying to go on hard to the end, not the mediums. And then some more softs, as we have Ahmed, Jordi, Lexa and Paolo also in the pits. No damage for flip-flop instantly, as Ahmed has gone on to the mediums, Paolo and Jordi have and he is damaged, so is Isa and Paolo.
So both Jordi and Paolo will be trying to go to the end on these tires. We will see if it works.
Will definitely have to make him stop.
Yeah.
I think Ahmed might be able to make it to the end if he's careful.
We've got Christian retiring. Under the safety car.
Turn 4.
Russia, you are mad. Under the safety car in turn 4.
He won't like that. He's going to be very annoyed at himself.
Yeah. And also Matti with a 5-second time penalty. And has he got the damage? No, he hasn't.
Look like it.
And we've got a migrating host. But let's hope that it won't affect on this race.
Oh, probably because Christian was...
Yeah, probably yes. Thank you, Sochi. Beautiful, beautiful sentence there on the wall. Coco with also a 5-second time penalty, but this time for exceeding track limits.
Exceeding track limits. How do you manage that under the safety car?
Same as Lexa, and
so we
some
have
Dark in the pits.
Dark in the pits,
and
as well
so
as V8 Junior. They're going for a double stack.
Okay, so let's see.
Ahmed's back in the pits again. He's serving his penalty.
Probably yes.
And he's gone onto the hard player. Whereas V8 Junior has gone onto the soft top, or the medium, sorry.
And his teammate gone onto hard.
The hards. Yeah. So it looks like everyone's serving their penalties under the safety car.
Yeah, that's a good idea because they were at the back of the grid, so they can do it.
Paolo's made a mistake and has dropped behind Lex and Jordi.
And McLaren of Jordi has broken front wing.
Really?
Yes, so Jordi will have problems on the... Yeah.
He'll probably pit again.
disaster for McLaren.
Up all the tyres.
Yeah. And so safety car should fit in this lap.
Could have the whole race behind the safety car and it'd still be interesting.
Yeah, if the drivers can crash behind the safety car, it has to be an interesting race. So is safety car coming in?
Granty boy is going to leave the pack on the restart. A very long straight should see a lot of action down into turn 2.
Yeah, for sure. Christopher will be counting on the slipstream from Granty boy, so we may see some switches there.
I think Stafey might want to try and get into turn 2 first.
Yeah, some dive bomb maybe. But now Granty boy gets onto the throttle again. Christopher gets a little bit of a slide through the last corner, and he's now under the pressure from Sefei. We've got Jordi in the pits, of course. We've got also Mati close to Fallen, or not that close, but no switches there.
And
we've got Mati spinning! So he spun in the second corner and he's now standing on track. No contact, fortunately.
A trip.
Yeah.
Looks like. So looks like V8 also had an issue on the restart. He's down quite far, and Matt has gone all the way down to P17 as Jules now leaving the pits.
Yeah.
So a good restart from Granty boy there.
Yeah, he maintained his lead, and same Christopher and Sefei, they are all going on the same positions, but Sefei is now under pressure by Pricky. They're going through the back straight. Is he going to
try for a move around the outside?
No.
Move forward? No.
No. We got Coco overtaking Rafa into the chicane. But now Rafa may want to fight back into this couple of corners, but not quite.
There is a
Paulo with a Frisco penalty.
Paulo. Finally, we've had full racing.
Yeah, and Ahmed is coming into the pits. No, he's serving his driver's penalty. Yeah, I forgot about it. And
Rafa and flip-flop Allen into turn 3. And Rafa looks like he's got the better of flip-flop there. Should be interesting if the cars is close to see whose strategy is going to work best.
Yeah, we've got the top 9, or actually top 10 still without the pit stop, and everyone behind them has already stopped, and we've got Flip-Flop trying to get his position back on Rafa. He's just behind the Ferrari. No DRS yet, but he has got the slipstream.
Oh, and Simon has got past Bandit as they're fighting into the chicane, and Bandit has defended from Simon.
And Flip-Flop overtakes Rafa into the chicane, but they are still going side by side, and Rafa manages to defend his position. But now Flip-Flop goes around the outside, and he still has got the inside-outside line into the penultimate corner, and now he manages to get this position, and so now he is up into P10, and he's now up into points.
Going to look to make a pass now.
Yes, and also Pricky overtakes Sefei, but Sefei manages to defend his position, but not quite because
Ko gets past Lopez.
Yeah,
Lots
many
of
switches there.
so
And now
far,
Sefei goes move down the inside into turn 4 on Pricky, but he gets an oversteer on the exit, so he may lose this position, but he has got the inside line into this corner, and they are still going side by side. And now Pricky goes down the inside. It's a beautiful fight between them, and Pricky comes out on top in this battle. So Sefei loses his podium position at the moment, but now they are going on to the back straight, and it's Sefei who is gonna have the DRS, but he's probably too far to attack, and so we'll switch to the Williams, who's trying to overtake the Toro Rosso. Yes, and Williams makes a beautiful switchback.
Sefei with the penalty. And Simon has 2 positions through the chicane. He's fallen a 3rd position now, behind both Toro Rossos and the McLaren. Someone runs the bollard over the last corner.
Yeah, and we've got a Sefei going with a TRS, overtaking Pricky into turn 2. And so he retakes his 3rd position as well. Coco is overtaking Fallen into turn 2, but Fallen is still fighting with the Williams.
Big
and Williams goes down the inside, and he gets this 7th position.
Very nice.
So nice moves there. We've got a beautiful fight for P5, to be honest, and it's down to P10 in this battle. So 5 drivers battling.
Has got past flip-flop. No detail through this section so far. Big train of cars, 6 cars here.
And Flip-Flop is trying to go around the outside into this chicane on Toro Rosso, but he can't quite do it, and he spins!
It's fun.
Unfortunately, so they made contact probably, and so Flip-Flop is now down into P13.
With the hat of the junior right on.
Yeah, and we've got one of the Toro Rossos going into the pits, but he missed the braking point, and he came back onto the track for a second, but he managed to go into the pits.
Very lucky.
Yeah, he's nearly done Hamilton from Germany. And so we've got the battle between racing points.
Two stand to look like they're pretty untouchable for the rest of the field here.
Yeah, he's 3.5 seconds ahead of Christopher Eck. And Lopez with a 3-second time penalty.
3-second time penalty.
Yes, and he's battling with his teammate, and there is also a Ferrari behind them.
Yep.
So they will now be going onto this back straight. And Rafa missed the braking point a little bit. And so now Lexa has got the DRS behind his teammate. But is it gonna be enough to overtake him? I think that it might be enough, and he goes down the inside. And he gets this 8th position, or not quite, because they are still side by side through this session of the track, and finally it's gonna be Lexa who will come out on top. But for how much longer?
This allows Rafa to catch right back up.
Yeah, because they are still fighting, and Lopez regains this position. So beautiful fight.
Maybe that was a mistake.
Yeah, and we've got also fight between Flip-Flop and Paulo behind them, but now Lexa and Lopez are going side by side into turn 2, but it's Lexa with a DRS coming out on top. and Flip-Flop managed to overtake the Renault.
We have yellow flags for Geordie.
Sector 3 is Geordie. So another problems for the McLaren.
More damage just from he's have to pit to replace that. A 3-second time penalty for Rafa.
Yes, we've got also fight between Pricky and Cefe again. Pricky will have DRS on this back straight, same as Coco, who is now going around the outside there, and he's now up into podium position. And we've got a spin between Cefe and Simo. I think that I am reading this correctly, and they are losing many positions. And so these three is still battling these two racing points and the Ferrari. And now Lexa goes missed the braking point into this chicane.
Simon's going to have to come into the pits to repair that wing damage.
Same as Cefe. Yeah. So unfortunately for them, they both spun and they lost much time. We've got Rafa.
This round, he's tried to go into the pits, but he's missed the tree. And 5 seconds time penalty for speeding limits.
In this race, we've got pretty much everything at the moment.
Yeah. Still though, at lap 10 and we've had less safety cars than last week. Good sign.
Good sign, yes.
There's a long pit stop there for the full driver. But it doesn't look like he's going to be losing the positions to Geordie anytime soon.
Yeah. And so the fight for the P6 between both Racing Points and the Ferrari is still on. They are now going onto the back straight again. And Rafa is gonna have DRS between Lopez, and he's gaining on the Racing Point. We've got the yellow flag again. It's one of the McLarens. It's Coco. So he spun and he's gonna lose his podium position. And now Lopez on the inside line maintains his position here. He defended against Rafa, but now Rafa has to defend against Lexa, who's trying to get this position from the Ferrari. But he didn't have enough grip.
Has been overtaken by Lexa. There's a big battle going on there.
Yes, and we've got both Pricky and Christopher in the pits, so Christopher is probably making an undercut on current leader, on Granty Boy.
Yeah, he's gone on to the medium. Look to finish the race on mud tyres.
Yeah, it's 16 laps to go.
Pricky has also gone on to the mediums. That's going to drop a long way down the order of that pit stop.
Yeah. And we've got Rafa overtaking Lopez down the inside into turn 5. So he's now up into P4. And behind them there is also Flip-Flop counting on their mistakes. Now Flip-Flop looked down the inside on Lexa, but he couldn't quite do it. But now they are going side by side into this turn. Lexa has got the inside line. But it's Flip-Flop who is gonna be gaining. And they are now going side by side again into the chicane. Who's gonna brake later? Still side by side.
Again at the chicane. Top 5 still yet to pit.
Yellow flag sector 3, it's Geordie. Geordie who has damage again. And so both Granty Boy, Fallen and Flip-Flop are coming into the pits. So let's have a look where Granty Boy is gonna come out. Is he gonna come out ahead of Christopher? I'm pretty sure that yes, he's going out ahead of also Paulo. So he has got a 6 seconds advantage on the Williams at the moment. as they are battling for the victory here.
And Gnievko, Rafa and Lopez will probably have to pit this lap if they want to. Well, maybe Rafa, he's on the mediums, but definitely Coco and Lopez will have to cover that one off to stop the undercut.
Yeah, so we'll see Simo with a 3-second time penalty. Same as Jordi, this race is terrible for the McLaren.
Yeah, he's not enjoying it.
And we've got a switch between racing points. Yes, so Lexa overtakes Lopez. And who is now gonna come into the pits? Which racing point is it gonna be?
Yeah. At this point,
and so it's Lexa.
He's had to stay out. Lexa.
So Lopez has to stay out.
Very warm. There's power behind him. Lexa probably going to cost his teammate a few positions here.
Yeah, and so Granty Boy easily overtakes Lopez for the P2, and he's now chasing down Rafa. We've got the yellow flag in sector 3. Is it Jordi again? Yes. Unfortunately.
Just can't seem to get it right with that wheel in the traction zones.
Yeah, unfortunately. We've got also flip-flop overtaking Ahmed into turn 2. And there is also Sefei who wanted to gain a position here. But he couldn't quite do it. And let's have a look, because Granty Boy is now really close to Rafa. They are now going onto the back straight, and we will have a lead change here. Rafa has got damage on his front wing. So Granty Boy retakes his lead, and he has now got a straight line to victory. Yes, a penalty here. But and there is also Paulo fighting with Christopherek, and Christopherek spins and he hits the wall, and he damages his front wing.
Have to fix that.
Yes, it was such a good race, and
to the end on softs.
He should, and the Granty Boy also makes the fastest lap of the race. And is Christopher coming in? Yes, so Christopher is coming in, same as Lopez.
So Rafa's still yet to pit with his medium tyres.
Yeah, but he's gonna surely stay. And so Lopez is probably gonna come out behind his teammate, but I don't know why Lexa has got hards fitted.
Probably run out of tyres at this point. He has pitted twice.
Maybe yes, maybe yes. And so Christopher comes out in P15, so he now has to push like hell to go back into points. Yes, because Mati still overtakes him, but he's now gonna retake his position here around the turn 3. And now he's up into P15, and he's now gonna charge the points. Ahmed spun. So he loses some positions here, and Mati also managed to get his position back. We've got also Sefei fighting with Coco, but he's too far to attack here.
Too far to make a move. They have the Williams right behind him as well.
Yeah. And Christopher again switching positions with Mati. And it looks like this battle will be over now. We've got also Pricky close to Lukafa. He goes down inside into turn 1. That was a brave move. but he managed to get on top of the Toro Rosso, and he's now up into P5. His teammate is also counting on doing the same thing. Yes, Sefe and also Lexa and Ahmed, but it's the Williams driver who is closer to attack, but not quite here. But now Ahmed had the inside line, but he didn't want to risk. And Matthew, we have 3-second time penalty. We got a yellow flag. It's one of the Red Bulls, and it's Christopher out. Unfortunately, and we've got a VSC driver out in this Russian Grand Prix.
Looks like he's in for an overtake and may make contact.
Yeah, probably. And yeah. So unfortunately, this race was so good for the pole, but unfortunately, and we've got Rafa in the pits. So yeah, so he's using this VSC. So let's have a look where he's gonna come out. He's now gonna fit the softs, of course. He's changing his front wing, and so.
That's a 3-second time penalty free. Howell, though, has gone up 12 positions in this race. It's been an amazing first half for him.
Yeah. And let's hope that he's gonna now have a good charge, and he will be able to get some points here for the Italian team, because his teammate is already out from the very beginning of this race.
Only 2 seconds behind in the car, so these new soft tyres should be very useful for him.
Yeah, so he should be able to get some positions here. And we've got also flip-flop chasing down Fallen. Our pole sitter is currently in P6 because of his early pit stop under the first safety car, and he's now trying to get his positions back. And we've got Rafa overtaking Darky already. Yeah, so he's now up. He's now up into the points. And next up is Williams. 2 seconds. To him, Williams with a 3-second time penalty.
He's just got a 3-second time penalty.
Yes.
He's very close behind Sophie as they go onto the main stroke. Oh, looking for moving forward around the outside of turn 1.
And Fallen nearly spins, and Flip-Flop gets this position. And so now he's behind his teammate.
Be comfortably ahead of Toro Rosso after the contact, and Demon has not managed to get the move off in Sefer, so to stick behind him into the next DRS zone.
Yeah, so it's now all about the exit of this corner. Fallen is gonna, of course, have a DRS, and now he's gaining, but not enough to attack into this chicane. So he's gonna wait for the start-finish straight. Behind them there is also Simo trying to overtake Sefe, but not quite here. He didn't want to risk any contact. And Sefe spins and he hits the it was a Sefe literally
safety car
flew into the air, and we've got a safety car. It was the...
should see a lot of drivers save the softs.
Yes, we've got both alphas in the pits.
Both alphas are
in. But they are not risking. Yes, because he has got damage from this crash, but that crash was, I don't know, it was like Cefe spun and then Simo hit him, and then Cefe like flew into the air and he make a barrel roll, and it looked amazing. So
we'll just have to see what the dudes have to say about that one after the race, I guess.
Oh yeah, so 3 drivers out of this Russian Grand Prix, and we still have got 9 laps to go. We're going behind the safety car, so all the advantage of Granty Boy is gonna come down to 0. But he actually still can pit, because he has got 20 seconds of advantage, and yes, he's pitting, so he's gonna fit the softs.
Go to the ends. Will Paolo follow him?
We see Simo with a 3-second time penalty. And so is Paolo pitting? Probably yes. Yes, he's same as the Smoking Bandit.
And Smoking Bandit will follow him. Is Fulham going to double stack with Bandit, or is he going to stay out?
No, he's staying out. Coco is coming into the pits.
What will the House of Darku?
He's also coming into the pits. Lexa stays out.
Lopez stay out?
Same as Lopez, yes. And then everyone were in the pits already.
Left the session. P2 driver is disconnected.
So unfortunately we've lost another driver here.
Hopefully he can rejoin the session under the safety
car. Yeah,
car.
because he's up into P2 and he started from P11, so he's 9 positions up, but also both racing points are Lexa is 15 positions up and Lopez is 10 positions up, so it's also a good race for them. Also for Coco, he's 10 positions up, so we've got a couple of great comeback stories. Ahmed also in the pits, yes.
And we have Jordi 6 positions down from us. And that's a flip-flop has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, Paulo the 5-second
penalty.
penalty.
Decided on penalties.
Probably, yeah.
That's a big penalty. We won't know who crosses the line until everyone does. Now, Jordi going to be able to unlap himself under the safety car?
And we'll see, because he's quite far back.
Yeah, that's a long way.
And I don't think if he isn't losing 2 laps, because he's losing 1 lap to Ahmed. Actually.
Yes.
We'll see. So yes, currently of course Granty Boy is leading this Russian Grand Prix and he's on fresh softs. Behind him is Fallen, who needs to come back to the session to dream of getting a podium here. His car is on mediums. Behind him is his teammate, also on fresh softs. Then we've got Lexa on hards. So it's gonna be really tough to maintain this position, because behind him he has got pretty much everyone on fresher tires and on faster tires, so it's gonna be really difficult to make it to the end on this position. But we'll see. It's still gonna be 7 laps to go if safety car is gonna pit this lap.
Well, hopefully, yeah. a very different story for both Mercedes, one in first, one down in P15.
Yeah, completely different races.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got a spin of the smoking bandit. What happened in the... So we've got even a spin behind the safety car. So this Grand Prix is complete. We've got everything in here. Spins on formation lap, spins on spins behind safety car. Grosjean also managed to spin in the pit lane, but I don't think you are able to do it in this game. And so we've got the information that safety car is coming in this lap, and we still don't have Fallen.
I don't think Fallen's going to be able to rejoin.
Unfortunately, so it's getting worse for the Toro Rosso. And so Granty Boy.
P2 and he can't do it.
Yeah. And the Smoking Bandit also lost 4 positions here. And so Granty Boy is gonna have a straight line to victory here.
Well unless one of the pink cars has something to say about it. Well, he's already gone before the final call. Oh, no flag already.
Yes. So and now Lexa is already getting this second position from the Toro Rosso.
Ahmed
and Lopez
from the restart on his heart.
Oh. And many penalties for drivers, and so Ahmed is out already. But here we've got a fight. Fallen is of course losing many positions, but here we've got a fight between Paolo Pricchi and Lopez. Pricchi is now trying to get...
Seconds time. Fallen is falling down the order to P12 now.
And he's gonna be dead last in a second. There is also Pricchi going wide in this turn. Smoking Bandit is also trying to regain his lost positions. And then we've got also a free car battle for the P7.
Pricchi makes the move into the corner. It's up into P3.
And there is also Smoking Binding going down the inside on Paolo into this chicane, and he is now up into P5. Also Rafa is overtaking Flip-Flop, and Granty Boy with a fastest lap of this race, and he's now 4 seconds ahead of Lexa in the second. And the Smoking Bandit is now making a move on Lopez, and he's now up into P4. So and good job for him. Exactly. And there's also Paolo spinning in turn 2, and he's losing position, and he's now outside the points, unfortunately. So and he's retiring. So unfortunately, but we still have got battle, and here is still 6 laps to go, and VSC.
Junior died. He's been crashed into at turn 5.
Oh.
Junior has spun at turn 5.
Yeah, I saw it.
Unfortunately for him, I think he went for an overtake into turn 4 and got turned in on.
And so another 2 drivers out of this race, and 13 drivers still on track.
13 left. Do you get points here?
With 2 laps back. We'll see.
The virtual safety car ending at any point?
It should be ending soon. And yes, so we are racing again. We've got Haas going wide into this chicane, and he's losing position to Simo, DRS enabled. And there is also Mati gaining a position on it.
Is Geordie is getting spun at the final corner from Geordie.
Yeah, so another troubles for him. We've got also Coco overtaking Lopez on the start-finish straight. And so it's gonna be all about the penalties, how the pack is gonna look at the end of this race. Rafa is also waiting for the mistake for Lopez to make a move.
Is he gonna make it? Doesn't look like it. He's nearly lost it. He gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Ooh. Not what he was wanting there. That's a very odd place to try and make a move. Is he going to do it though? Around the outside, and it's Rafa ahead of Lopez.
Yeah, so he gets this 6th position, and Flip-Flop is also counting on move here. They are going side by side into the chicane. We got also a fight between Coco and the Smoking Bandit, and Flip-Flop gets this position on Lopez, so he's now up into P7.
Lopez is falling backwards with those hard tyres. His legs is up 6 positions from where he started. Very nice from the Racing Point driver there. I always want to call it a force in there. And it looks like he's going for a move on Lexa.
Yes, we've got also Simo overtaking Lopez into turn 2, same as Rafa fighting with Flip-Flop. And there is also Coco overtaking Lexa into P4.
Very nice. Oh, we have some side by side in between Flip-Flop. There's a broken wing. Flip-Flop has damage.
Yes, he is. And so, how it's gonna look like? It's still 4 laps to go in this race. Granty Boy has got a 6-second advantage. Simo has got damage also on his front wing. We've got also Coco close to the Smoking Bandit. He's gonna try a move into turn 2.
Is the lead for Granty Boy is now in seconds. So
yeah, he's making another fastest lap of this race.
Yeah. Unless he does something very silly, he should win here. There's Coco now closing in on the Smoking Bandit.
Is it gonna be enough to make a move? He's closing, but not too close. We've got also Rafa overtaking Lexa. Yeah, so he gets this 5th position, and Coco is still close. He's still in the slipstream around turn 3. Now into turn 4 they go, but Coco is probably gonna wait to the DRS straight.
Following that Toro Rosso very closely.
Yep. Simo with another time penalty.
That front wing damage is not doing any good.
Yeah, and maybe now Coco has got the DRS. He is gaining on the Toro Rosso. He covers the inside, but not quite. And so Coco wanted to look down the inside, but now they both locked up and still side by side, but the Smoking Bandit maintains his position. We had also a switch between Matty and Dark, I believe.
Yep, Dark got ahead of the Red Bull driver at the end of the race straight.
And so we've got also a fight for P5 between Rafa, Lexa, Flip-Flop and Simo. They are still fighting, but is Coco gonna be able to attack the smoking bandit? No, not here, and he's gonna have one more try to make this move, but now he has got the inside light rounder free, and is it gonna be a jump down for him? Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Very nice move, yeah, indeed. Also, Simo overtakes flip-flop. Both drivers with damage on their front wings, but it's Simo who gets the 6th position at the moment.
No, is dealing damage just a little bit better.
Jordi with the fastest lap of this race, and he spins.
Fast lap.
And he retires from the session. Okay.
Unlucky.
And so he's not gonna score any points here, because you have, if you want to get the point for the fastest lap, you have to finish the race, and Jordi isn't gonna finish it. So unfortunately, and still 12 drivers going, but we of course don't count Fallen because he's a ghost and he's 30 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, ghosting is not very fast.
And we've got another chapter of the fight between both racing points. Lopez is on faster tires, and he's gonna be counting on passing his teammate. Yes, he has, so it's gonna be an easy move for Lopez here for the P8. Down the inside into turn 1, and he gets this position. Flip-flop is out. He spun on the start straight.
Flip-flop on the straight as well.
So everyone who is gonna finish this race is gonna score points, because Dark is now in P10 and his last driver going. So unfortunately for our pole sitter, he's not gonna score any points here.
Very unfortunate. How is he? Do you reckon he's been moved across into on a straight then?
I don't know. Maybe he clipped the wall or something in turn 1. It's a really strange place to crash. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't saw the car crashing like this.
No, I saw it facing the wrong way.
So this bad. Yeah, so Pricky comes into first place, but it's Coco.
Coco get P2.
Yes, and
Bandit P3. Simo P5 ahead of Rafa P6.
Then we've got Lopez
looking to cross in P7.
But he gets P6.
P6 for
from Rafa. Alexa P8, but it's Mati.
P8.
And still Dark gets into P9. So 2 points for Haas. And so that's all for the Russian Grand Prix in F3.
Lexa dropped 4 positions at the end. They were very unlucky for him.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the cleanest race for him. And so Granty Boy, remarkable drive here today. He was untouchable and very deserved. So congratulations for all these drivers, and so it was quite good Grand Prix.
Maybe
lots of action.
Reasons,
yeah. So that's the whole thing.
Penalties.
Yeah. 15 seconds for Pricky. And so Granty Boy of course wins this Grand Prix, Coco behind him, and the Smoking Bandit in P3. Then we've got Pricky, Simo, Lopez, Rafa, Mati, Dark and Lexa closing the top 10. And then outside the top 10 we've got of course Fallen, who was ghosting, unfortunately for him. And the non-finishers were Flip-Flop, Jordi, V8 Junior, Paulo, Ahmed, Sefei and Christopherek.
Very unfortunate. Did you see Rafa with 21 seconds of penalty?
Yeah. It was something, yeah, it was
wow, what a race.
What a race. So I think that's all. for the F3 this week. We will of course be back next week, but stay focused, because in about half an hour we've got a race in F2. So we are of course inviting you to join us. I will be commentating, and tomorrow is of course the F1 race. And so that's all for now, and see you in half an hour.
Cool.